So, good morning. This is Doug, and I am the Second Chance Fat Man coming to you guys here on New Year's Day 2020. Happy New Year's. For those that asked, I didn't do a Christmas video, so I hope everyone had a blessed holiday season there. Just wanted to come to you guys and do a short video. I'm actually sitting here at the kitchen table. I just made my Power Green smoothie for breakfast this morning. But wanted to touch base and let you know, because I've had a bunch of you guys write and say, hey, where you at? What's going on? What are you doing? And so basically it's not necessarily pretty, but I want to explain how things have kind of transitioned even as up to last night in my mind. So I did a couple videos about 2 months ago, beginning of November. If you guys saw those, I was pretty fired up. I felt like I was back on track. Everything was going well. I was excited. Right, literally after those videos, I hurt my right foot. Basically, and I hurt my right foot because of my size. The doctor says is that I crushed my mid-arch, so I had to do the whole orthotic route, and for a while, even now, every step is kind of painful. But I'll be honest with you, that injury put me into a tailspin in my mind. As you guys that have watched this channel know, last year, 2019, I lost my mother, and 13 months prior to that, I lost my father. And both of those times derailed me pretty bad. And after this injury, I just started, of course it was going into the holiday season, and I just started going in my mind, my goodness, this is my first Thanksgiving without both my parents. This is my first Christmas without both my parents. And I did get on the pity train pretty hard. Not only did I get on the train, I was the conductor, man. I was the engineer. I was driving the train, and I was driving it pretty hard. So it's one of those things that I just allowed myself to let go. To be honest with you, I let go of the dream of Second Chance Fat Man. Let go of everything. But things have happened that have been rather interesting, and one of the biggest and most profound was a couple weeks ago. My wife asked me, she said, hey, where are you at? Are you going to do a video? And I was like, no, I'm not. I think I'm done. I set out in the past 2 years, and I think I've helped people. I've had people write me to tell me I've helped them. I've helped encourage people. That's all I wanted to ever do with this, was encourage people to change and make the choice to change. And I said, I think I'm done. I think I'm going to just go ahead and give up. And then, my goodness, look, I've gained some weight back. I haven't exercised. I've hurt my foot. I don't want to go back and do a video explaining that. And I think I'm done. And literally that night at 10 o'clock, I got a message from a gentleman. His name is Juan. I won't say his last name for respect from him, but it was a long message, and it was a message of him pouring his heart out. 39 years old, 530 pounds, and for all intents and purposes, he had basically given up on life, and was scrolling YouTube and found my channel, and my channel offered him encouragement. So I wrote him back, and to my surprise, and apparently his, he was surprised I wrote him back. Whatever I wrote him offered him encouragement, and he said that he really wanted just to start doing things, even if they were slow, that somehow whatever I said encouraged him. And that hit me. And then there have been people that know me personally that have said how much of an encouragement I am to them over the past couple weeks. So I've taken that to heart. But yesterday, obviously, December 31st, 2019, you're being very reflective of that day. A lot of people plan the resolutions. I don't believe in resolutions because they're just short term. I am a big goal setter. So I was being reflective, and I was setting goals in my mind for 2019, and wanted to see what was going to happen and what kind of thoughts I had in my mind. And of course, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I've subscribed to a ton of whole food, plant-based stuff. And I noticed that all of the articles, and this isn't any offense to anyone out there, but I noticed all the articles were this before and after picture, and people were just doing it straight. Hey, look what I've done in the past 200 days. Look what I've done in the past 90 days. Look what I've done in the past 30 days, or whatever. And they've obtained weight loss, they've obtained health, and that's beautiful. But it did get me thinking, how many people start and stop and then don't come back? Because they almost compare themselves to that. Because I couldn't do it in 90 days, because I couldn't do it in 6 months, because I fell off the track, I can't get back on. So that's where I really did, to be honest with you, I really did start thinking, okay, my story is still relevant. I have fallen off so many times, and obviously this channel with over 50 videos has documented that. But each time I've still continued. I've still moved forward. I've still made the choice to change. And so I guess I started thinking about that, to be honest with you. And what kind of capped everything off was last night, my wife and I went to a restaurant, and the young lady was there, and she was talking to me, and our waitress, and she just started mentioning that she is now a diabetic, and this is a young lady. And I said, "Are you, 22 years old?" She goes, "No, I'm 21. She said, "I didn't have any symptoms, and all of a sudden I ended up in a coma, and I was in ICU for 4 days." And I said, "What was your blood sugar?" She said, 300. So I started talking to her. I said, "Hey, do me a favor, tonight, tomorrow, whatever, watch Forks Over Knives." And I said, if you go to YouTube and look up Second Chance Fat Man, I said, that's me. And I said, if you ever need encouragement or need to talk, please do. But 22 years old and type 1 diabetic, and never knew. And all of a sudden, just that change happened in her life. The interesting thing is, you talk about perspective. The table right behind us, there's a gentleman there with a freshly amputated leg. When he got up, that's when I saw it. But what I did notice first was his other leg was wrapped with compression socks, or was wrapped with the ACE bandage and compression. So when he got up and I saw that he was freshly amputated, and it took him, forever to get out of the restaurant, I knew that was most likely due to diabetes. And then there's also a gentleman at church, just had a brand new, beautiful little girl, and he came into church last week, and he was on crutches. And if he doesn't get his diabetes under control, then he's probably going to lose his leg, and he's in his 20s as well. So I guess everything kind of culminated in my mind, and kind of God was knocking on the door of my heart and saying, you don't need to give up. Your story is very relevant, and you need to continue. The one thing I did reflect on also last night was, I think by setting these arbitrary numbers of, well, I got to lose 20 pounds in the next week or whatever, or however, I think that was hurt myself, because not only was I dealing with all the things in my mind of parents and so forth, I was setting these kind of, I don't want to say they were unattainable, but these kind of interesting goals that when I didn't hit them, I was actually using them against me. Well, see, I failed again. So long story short, I'm here. I'm very interested to see what happens in 2020. I will tell you that April of 2020, I turned 40, and I don't want to be the size that I am. So we will just work together. I am writing Juan. I'm actually going to send him this video, and I want him to work with me, and see what we can do together, and see what we can do to change for that 2020. So anyhow, I hope you guys have have a blessed year this 2020, and we'll see what happens. Thanks.